How to self-actualize. This is to realize your highest desires and intentions. This requires some introspection and goal setting or ultimate outcome setting, as it will result in a way of existence. You will need to succeed in your inner game as well as your outer game, which are mutually inclusive. That about sums it up. Isn't life simple? Be, do, have, in that order. Innately, we are all drawn to be happier, more loved, and fulfilled through our existence. These equate to emotional ranges that we can deliberately exist in. These are the emotional levels of peace, love, and joy. Be first. The core emotions are also perspectives from which to view the events that occur in our existence. Perspectives result in perceptions. These are our understanding of our situations or the reality we live in. To self-actualize is to deliberately select how we exist. Choose the core perspectives to prioritize in your life. They must start with peace, love, and joy, then at least 3 others to direct your existence. Peace, love, and joy can be in whichever order you desire, but must be 1, 2, and 3 in the order of primary perspectives or core values by which you conduct your existence. Further core values may be elicited through introspection as to what is most important to you in your existence. Then they simply need to be prioritized and the criteria by which all of your values are met created, so that you recognize and track your progress. All core values equate to sets of feelings. This is how you will recognize they are being met. Your progress then becomes quantifiable by seeing and noticing the resultant feelings equated to the core values, which all equate to feelings anyway, to know that they are being met, as I mentioned before. I.e., if you want to be happier, are you firstly being happy first, or coming from a perspective of joy? As well as defining actions or behaviors that result from happiness or joy, have you planned having the things that bring you joy or make you happier? To elicit your core beliefs, you can imagine yourself in the future, at the very end of your existence. Look back at all you have done and ask yourself, what would you have wanted more of? List the things that pop into your mind and set their priority. What you are looking for are words that, for you, naturally describe the core value. These types of words are known as nominalizations. They are words that cannot be contained or do not fit into a wheelbarrow. I want money is not a nominalization, as money can be contained in a bank account. I want to be rich or wealthy might be the inherent core value. Adventure could be considered a core value. It cannot be placed into a container. Notice that the nominalizations need to be generalizations or wide terms that encompass how you want to conduct your existence as opposed to specific things. Once you have a few enabling general core values, prioritize them. You do this by asking, is this more important than that? And run through all the items in your list. Prioritize your primary core values. You can do this in many ways. I coach people how to do this in a variety of ways. The most basic is simply to focus on your values daily and examine what has been going on and what will occur by the values. Or you can use hypnosis, NLP, energy tapping, or any number of techniques to set the perspectives at the forefront of your mind. Another simple way to set or better install the values you want to focus on is to use Gamut point tapping. Decide on the value or enabling belief to install or elevate. Look at the top of your hand, either hand will do, and look for the groove between the little finger and next finger. Tap for 45 seconds to a minute vigorously in the groove about halfway along the length of your hand. Then say something like the following, using the example of adventure. I desire adventure. I will adventure. I love adventure. I adventure. I am adventure. The above example helps to install this identity statement or belief within your mind. Repeat statements like these that embody your core value. You will feel it install and check to see where it goes on your prioritized list of values. Below is an example of prioritizing. I am love. I am love. I am love. Love is number 1. I am joy. I am joy. Joy is number 2. I am peace. Peace is number 3. Play around with it, whatever works best for you. Check to see if your priority feels right afterwards, by asking if X is more important than Y, and notice your feelings. Adjust accordingly until you are happy. Your core values should be prioritized to become core identity statements that you could say about yourself. An identity statement being, I am something, something, something. If your core values don't come easily as identity statements, you can tap them in. You can tell by how you feel relating to an identity statement. For example, say, I am love, I am peace, I am joy, and notice how you feel as you say these. Target and monitor progress. You are tracking feelings here that equate to your outcomes. All core values equate to sets of feelings, and you can use them to measure your success, as feelings will be all that is left of your experience, whatever you think you have created. You want to monitor time spent in the feelings and intensity. You can simply chart this if you want. Perspectives that you might be stuck in, or unhelpful beliefs. One common issue with making these changes is that you may have beliefs that are held in place that do not enable you to most efficiently self-actualize. For these, seeing a change worker to clear you or these beliefs is beneficial. Alternatively, you can follow my tapping regimen or spin technique to deconstruct these beliefs. They will be held in place most often by compounded negative emotions. Simply release the emotions to let go of the belief. This can be done for any trauma or just a belief that is disenabling of self-actualizing. Do and have second. Now that you have focused on your emotional outcomes for your existence, these actually form your highest desires and intentions. The next step, which most people are more familiar with, is adding how you want to realize those top-end intentions and desires. In other words, what you want to do with yourself and what you want to have that assist you in helping you bring more of those feelings. It could be a life's mission to accomplish something, build a business, grow your family, or whatever it is. The trick here is to map the doings and havings so that you recognize they are being accomplished, and the primary notification are the feelings generated by all of this. One way to do this is to list your doing aspirations and havings. Then next to each point, identify how you will recognize you have these by basing it on feelings through your senses. I tend to run through my senses to elicit ways that I would recognize that I had what I set out for. For example, I desire a loving relationship. I will know I have this when I feel passionate for my lover and accepted just as I am and freely loving them. When they touch me, I will feel warmth. I will see them smiling and will feel happy and comfortable and whole. When I smell them, it will feel reassuring, and at times of making love, it will feel intoxicating. When I listen to them breathe, I will feel drawn to them. So you can run through all your senses and imagine different situations you desire in your relationship and notice the feelings you desire. Warning: in this example, make sure you don't create a list of unrealistic expectations or set expectations of your lover, as love is freedom, not only for you, but your lover. This is covered later with the use of the tools of creation. Systematically succeeding with your inner game and outer game. Staying focused on peace, love, and joy as your ultimate outcomes is easily messed up. It is messed up entirely by not properly focusing on bringing these things through your thinking and actions or behaviors, or what you create. The tools of creation. The tools of creation are thoughts, communications, actions. Essentially, this is the process we run through to do anything. You have an initial thought or desire or choice, and then you communicate to yourself in your mind about it. The communications could be an inner voice, feelings, the propulsion or compulsion, images, knowings, or whatever that pertains to that thought. The culmination of the thought and communications, sub-thoughts effectively, result in some kind of action or behavior. The misuse of this tool has led to not only individuals, but society's downfall into emotional misery. And it is down to lack of education and consistent application. This is the inner and outer game. To self-actualize properly requires you as an individual to take responsibility and apply this manifestation or reality-building process consistently for yourself and for society to do the same. This way you will have an environment that will support self-actualization, as some may be better at the inner game than others, though we all use the tools of creation every moment of our existence. What is great is that you can install the necessary beliefs to run this automatically in your thinking process for self-actualizing. How to use the tools of creation to self-actualize. To self-actualize is something we are all driven to do innately, so we must account for all in the process. To self-actualize, we must focus on our highest intentions or the core emotional outcomes we desire deliberately. particularly when using the tools of creation. This is a deliberate act often overlooked. There are 3 principles that will assist or enable the best outcomes when utilizing the tools of creation: awareness, responsibility, and honesty in our thoughts and actions, and incorporating the environment, including others affected by the original intention or thought, and a dose of practicality, as there is no point trying to do what cannot be realistically achieved. Thoughts. Aim these at joy emotionally for all concerned. This is a key intention and is sometimes known as the sponsoring thought. It may come as a decision or choice as well. The sponsoring thought must be one that brings or could bring joy to all concerned or affected by this use of the tools of creation. Communications. The communications are actually sub-thoughts that pertain to the sponsoring thought. These include feelings, as this represents immediate motivation to act. Essentially, are the sub-thoughts or feelings towards the sponsoring thought joyful, or could they be joyful? Another way to put this is to ask if the communications reflect the joy the sponsoring thought brings or could bring. This needs to be applied to all parties concerned. Do others related to the sponsoring thought reflect the joy that the thought does or could bring? You must include the communications of others in this process to reflect the ability of the thought to bring joy. Actions or behaviors. If the main thought can or does bring joy to all concerned, which is reflected by the communications about it, internally and externally by others concerned, then act. What action to take, and if not immediately obvious, must be one that could be considered a loving action to or by all concerned. Good questions to help with this include: what would love do now? Are these loving actions? Assisting the creation process. The following principles should be applied to all concerned with the sponsoring thought. Arr! Or awareness, responsibility, and honesty. Awareness of yourself and others' situations with regard to the impact that the sponsoring thought and actions may have. Responsibility. Start by taking personal responsibility to act, and then be responsible for others that the creation concerns. Honesty. Look at things as they are. When examining the situation for yourself or from the perspective of others concerned, filter out what is imagined, so try and deal with the facts available. Also, this means honest communication with others concerned and yourself. Practicality. Be practical in the process. If a thought does not work, change it. If an action is not possible, change it, or the thought. Do the best you can with what you have. Be creative through every aspect of the process. Putting it all together. Thought. I want to make love with my lover. Who are the parties involved? Me and my lover. Communications. Does this thought bring joy to me and my lover? Or could it? Yes, I feel the anticipation now, and as I talk about it with them, they are excited too. Practicality. I say, shall we head to the bedroom now? No, we can't. We've got the plumber coming. Actions. Are these loving actions, or what love would do now? After the plumber, we head to the bedroom to do the business, and do loving actions. On reflection. Awareness. Was I aware of the situation and those involved? Responsibility. Did I take responsibility of myself in the situation and any others concerned? Honesty. Were we honest in what we desired? Was that reflected in the communications? Conclusion. The tools of creation provide a structured thinking process to resolve any potential conflict or difference of opinion in a fundamentally simple way by unifying the perspective of all to one that all would be happy to take, namely peace, love, and joy. Differences in opinion only come about as a result of different perspectives taken. This is a key tool in the process of self-actualization.